Good evening, everyone. My name is Abhishek Sharma. So today's agenda, what we have is here is so we'll quickly start with the data visualization part, and we'll cover why data visualization is important and what is a good visualization and some of its design principles. Then we'll see the why Tableau is necessary and what are its importance, and then a brief comparison between Tableau versus Power BI, and then we'll be creating an interactive dashboard on COVID-19, and we'll try to cover such functionalities such as connecting to database, formatting the dashboard, sorting, filtering the views, parameters, applying table calculation, and creating blending access. So I'll make sure that I'll explain it in a manner so that all the questions are addressed. Still, if there are questions that are unanswered, we have the QA session at the end of this webinar. So I'll first quickly show the dashboard that we are going to create today. So this will be our COVID-19 dashboard that we are going to create. So on top of it, I have given the headline here. Then we have a filter here through which we can select the countries, and accordingly our dashboard will change. Then I have here some statistics for the absolute numbers here for the confirmed patients. And then we have the map highlighting the area where we are currently looking. And then we have top 5 states affected by COVID in that particular region or country. And then we have month-wise analysis of the numbers at the end. So this will be our agenda for today, and we'll be discussing this. However, before getting into this, I just want to cover some of the topics in the data visualization part that is there. So what is data visualization? So I have here one of the interesting data set with me. So it's called as Enscombes Quartet. So if you can see my screen, so you can see here that the data statistics, that the descriptive statistics that we get through these particular um, data set, X and Y coordinates, they are almost same. So if you see, sum is 99 for all, and again 82.5 for the y-axis, and again averages and the standard deviations. So here comes the point, need of the data visualization. So if you see here in the data visualization, when I see the descriptive data here, I would only see the numbers. But as soon as I visualize this data and plot it, so this is the graph that I mean graphs for all these 4 data sets that I get. And it turns out to be that all the 4 data sets have different distributions. So this is the importance of the data visualization here. In order to understand your data, visualization is the best way. Again, so if I see why data visualization, so it is often said that a picture is worth 1,000 words, and eyes are the most dominant senses of all. So if we have, as you can see from the Enscombes quartet here, that we have all the 4 different visualizations having same descriptive statistics, but when they are visualized, it turns out to be that they have 4 different pictorial representation. So here by visualizing the data, what we have done is we have got a better understandability of the data and as well as enhanced interpretability just by plotting our data and viewing it. So yeah, so after this, what the question arises is, what is a good visualization? So in order to see that, so a good visualization is someone, while making the good visualization, what needs to be done is you should always know your audience, and it should always be easy to interpret for the audience. So ideally, a good visualization, it should not take more than 15 seconds for a person viewing it to understand it and interpret it. So in order to build up a good visualization, or rather a great visualization, we need to integrate the data from the different sources, then analyze it, doing the descriptive analytics there, and then finally present it visually. And there are certain design principles that needs to be taken care of while making it. So what are those design principles? Again, so again, always remember that only show the relevant metrics. So you might show the data and you might show the every part of the data that is there. But again, at the end of the day, what we need is to show only the relevant metrics that are there, and always make it visual, make it interactive, make it easy to use, and the most important part is keep improving. What is Tableau? What is Tableau? So we are here to learn about the Tableau part. So Tableau is a powerful and fastest growing data visualization tool that is used for data visualization purposes, a tool that represents analysis in a visual format in business intelligence industry. It is useful to simplify raw data in a very easily understandable format. It helps creating the data that can be understood by professionals. A non-technical user can also create customized dashboard using Tableau. So Tableau is not only a visualization tool, it's even more than a visualization tool. It's a business intelligence tool. Then the question arises here is why Tableau? Why should we learn Tableau? Okay. So if you ask me like why should you learn Tableau, and um yeah, what how can you start with it? Then I would say that Tableau is a very user friendly software. It's quite intuitive. The more you work on the Tableau software, the better it would be, the better you would be getting into using it. It has a fast processing speed. It has better data connectivity and ability to handle huge data through multiple sources. And Tableau introduced maps and visualization as well in order to make it much more attractive, which we will be using today in our um, demo here. And there are connections with the data connectivity that is there. When it comes to Tableau, a huge amount of data there, and there is a huge community where you can share your understandings and learnings there. And it has a great shareability. When it comes to shareability of Tableau reports, it has a great amount of shareability. So a common question that is there is always a comparison between Tableau and Power BI. So in here I have compared it on 4 different measures. That is the advanced analytics capabilities. So Tableau is fully integrated support for R and Python languages. Power BI supports R language based visualization. When it comes to cloud capability, compatibility with cloud platforms like AWS, Azure, etc. it has. And in terms of Power BI, it's only compatible with Microsoft Azure. When it comes to big data integration, connects to any data sources from MS Excel to Hadoop clusters, rates better than Tableau and Qlik. When it comes to storage limit, Tableau has a more amount of storage as compared to Power BI. So when it comes to, so it all depends upon the industry to industry, and um, I would say the firm that is using the software. So if it's a small firm, it would be handling comparatively lesser data. So Power BI would be a more suitable option. If it's a bigger firm and its needs are like scalable, then Tableau would be a better option. Again, it's like comparison between apples and oranges. So each software has its own pros and cons. So I let the user to decide on that. We can now jump onto the dashboard. So I have a pre-installed Tableau desktop version on my screen, and this is the introductory page that will open once you click on Tableau software. So in here I have options of connecting with the data. So on the top I have options with connecting to files, and at the bottom I have options to connecting with the servers. Again, so when I click on this arrow here, I see there are n number of data connectivity options that I get here. I can select any one of it, but in order to make the webinar simple here, I have taken one COVID-19 dataset that is there, and it's in a text file. So it's a CSV file. So I'm going to work with it. All I need to do is just connect, just double click on that and connect the data there. So this is how we get our data file in the Tableau. And this is how our data window looks now. As you can see on top, we have this live and extract option here. So live connection helps us working with the live data that is there, the entire Excel file. And extract is something that helps us extract is something that is a snapshot of the data. It again depends upon us how we want to do it, or let's say what the number of rows or columns that we want for our building our visualization. So in this case, I'll be showing you how to follow the extract as well. So we'll work with the extract. We'll select the extract here, and we can see the Tableau is creating an extract, but we'll edit it according to our needs. So once we click on the edit part here, we see there are as you can see, there are number of rows options. It wants us to take the snapshot of the data. So it's asking us whether we should take the all row, take the top row option, or we should take the sample option. So if it takes all rows, so Tableau will compress our data and store it in its in-memory database system in a hyper file. So if you ask me, it would be like compressing the data to 1/10. And if I select the top here, then I can just mention the top rows, number of rows that I want. And if I take a sample here, then I get two options. One is the rows, number of rows. So this will randomly give me the rows, and the other will be the percent part. So a good way to use this particular option is always to select some percentage of your data that will come up randomly. Just in order to make it more simple, I am taking it as 20% here, and I'll just click on OK. So once I click on OK, Tableau has created my extract. And once I'll go to sheet menu here, Tableau will ask me to save this data in my local system. So I'll save it as V4 here, V3. And now take me to the sheet part. And now, as you can see, this is my main window that is I'll be working with, something that I'll be working with. So in top, you can see these are my column and row shelves. This is my marks card here. So these are for the frequent manipulations that we'll be doing to the data, or let's say editing or coloring or sizing or selecting the type of chart that we have. So this marks card will be used for that. This will be our filtered shelf that will be used for filtering the data. And again, this is our tooltip. That on the top you can see the tooltip. So this is for the commonly used operations that we perform while creating our sheets. So this is for, like, for example, sorting the axis, or duplicating or clearing a sheet, or duplicating a sheet, or going to a new sheet, like that. And this is for the view. This is something that we'll be extensively using in all our dashboards today. So yeah, so this is the main main window for Tableau. And on the left, we'll see here certain things are in blue and certain things are in green, as you can see. So the ones that are in blue are our measures, and the ones that are in green are the ones that are in blue are our dimensions, and the ones that are in green are our measures. So what you can call it as is all the numbers that are there. You can see this number, decimal, whole. They are treated as our measures, and the numbers and let's say the map location or the date or the string values, they are treated as our dimensions here. So once this is done, so the first visualization that we are going to build will be our blended axis. And in order to create a blended axis, so what is a blended axis? So in order to show more measures in one particular graph, we usually create a blended axis. So in here, I'll start with my observation date, and all I need to do is just drag and drop it to the columns shelf. So as you can see now, it's showing me one plus sign here, and it's giving me the year values. So Tableau gives me this option, so I can select it just clicking on the plus value. I can go into quarters. Again, I can go into months and into days from there. But in here, what I want the data to be in the month format. Again, if you see closely, we have this option of year, quarter, month, day in here as well, and in here as well. So what is the difference between these two? So in the first case, it will be a dimension value, and in the second case, it will be a measure value. So in first case, so let's say if it's month value, if I select this month, then it will give me from January till December values like that. So let's say if it gives me value for 2020 January and 2021 January. So let's say if there are 100 cases in 2020 January and 200 cases in 2021 January, then it will give me 300 cases in this January month. But this is something that I don't want for my visualization. So I won't be selecting this month, but rather I'll select this month here. So now as you can see, it has started from 2020 January till 2021 February. So it has transformed it into a timeline now. But again, I want it as a measure. So instead of making it as continuous, I'll make it as the discrete variable, so that I just want this timeline to be there on my x-axis. So this is how we have taken this month here. And now in order to create the axis here, we'll just simply put the number here. So we have this line chart with us for the confirmed cases. Again, we can just put in order to make it as a blended axis, all we need to do is put the deaths number here and put it here. And as you can see, when I'm placing my death measure into this particular axis, so I'm getting it as double green bars is what I can see. So this is something I need to place it here. And as you can see, the death number is also on our axis. And now this has changed to value instead of confirmed, the axis. Again, similar to this, what I can do is just drag the recovered here and put it in the y-axis. Again, I have the recovered values as well. So I have all my three numbers here in this particular visualization. So in case, so this is one way to do it. We can have one more way to do the same thing. So let me just show you the other way as well. Let me just put this observation month here. Again, let me change it to the timeline here and then make it discrete. And then instead of putting each one of them individually like what we did last time, what we need to do is we can just simply place this measure value in the row shelf. So now you can see I have all the values here, but this is not something that I want. So I'll just remove the ones that I need. So now I'm left with only this sum, deaths and recovered is something that I need. Again, all I need to do after this is just press the control button, click and place it on the color shelf. And now you can see it has changed. Again, I'll just remove the visualizations that I don't need. So there are two ways to do it. So these numbers that we have here are actually the actual numbers on those particular dates. But this is not something that we want. So what we want is the cumulative numbers. So we'll come back to our shelf here and we can see here this down arrow. All we need to do is just click on this down arrow and just go to this quick table calculation and apply a running total. So it will give me a sum every time in addition to the next date or next month here. So similarly, I want for deaths and recovered as well. Yeah. So as you can see, I have the running totals here. These labels have changed. And what I want to, let's say if I want to edit these labels and edit the colors, so how I can do it? So let's first see how I can edit the colors. So in order to edit the colors, there are two ways to edit the colors. You can either double click on this particular box here and select it. So let's say for confirmed, I need blue, for I need red, and for recovered, I need green. So this is how I can change my colors. And the other way to do it is through the marks shelf. I have the color option here. All I need to do is click here, then edit colors. and again I have the same pop-up box that is there. I can choose it from here. So the next thing that I want to do is I want to edit the access labels, legend labels here. So all I need to do is just click a right click here and then edit alias. And let's say I want it as confirmed, and the other one as deaths, and the last one as recovered. So now you can see we have changed the access labels here. And now we need to, what do we need to do is what we can do. Remember I told you that we'll be fitting and we'll be using this particular tool here again and again. So we'll fit it to entire view now. And all for this labels, let's say I want to change this particular value. All I need to do is double click here, and then I can change it to, let's say, absolute numbers. This is how I can change it. There are other options as well, but for now, just to make it simplistic, we are just changing the title here. So the next step, once we have done this, we need to just change the color here. All we need to do is just right click on this pane and then format option and go to this shading box here. From here, we need to change the worksheet color. We can change it from here to black. Now you can see everything has turned to black, and these lines are something we don't need. So we'll go to this lines section here and we'll just remove the lines from the rows. So we have our visualization in place. But again, as you can see, these are coming a little, I want to make it a little dark from here. So I'll just right click here, then format this option. Again, in the header part, all I need to do is just make it white and bold. Similar to this, for the y-axis, we'll do format, again white and bold. So now we have our things in place for the first visualization, and I don't need this month of observation date. So I'll just right click on it and hide the field labels for columns. Now I'll rename the sheet to absolute numbers. As you can see, it has also changed, and I need to edit this label as well. Again, double click, make it bold, change it to white, and then apply. So our first visualization is ready. All we need to do now is, the one thing that I need to do is now, this is the complete visualization for all the regions that are there, but I only need it for, let's say, a particular country. So I'll put it country as a filter here, and in this filter I'll select all and then apply and then OK. Again, I'll show you this thing again, because this is an important part. The filter is something that will be used across all sheets. So I need to place the country filter here. I need to select all. As you can see, I get 4 options on top. One is general, the other one is wildcard. Again, it contains a match. You can make a match like starts with, ends with, or exactly match, or a condition, or a top filter. This is something that we'll use at the end. So right now what I need is a general filter. I'll just apply it and OK. So once I've applied the filter, it is by default giving me all values here. So I'll just click here and show filter option. As you can see on the right. So once this is on the right, all I need to do is select this drop down menu here. And so now you can see I have got a multiple options here. So one is single list, single value list, then single value drop down, then multiple list, multiple values drop down, multiple values custom list. So again, depending upon our need, we can select here. So single value drop down is something that we are going to select, and as you can see, it has given me for Afghanistan. But let's say I don't want it for Afghanistan, but I need it for India. I'll select India here, and you can see the numbers have changed for India. Okay, so we are done here with our first visualizations, and the second that we are going to move on is the map. So in order to create a map, it's quite simple. We need to do is just put this country region in the column shelf. That is good. And again, so Tableau gives us this show me button here, which depending upon the rows and columns, the measures and dimensions that you have placed in rows and columns, it gives you the visualization that can be created. It gives you suggestions. So for this, I'll be selecting this particular map here, which is my field map. And I'll just click, and now you can see longitude, latitudes generated, which we already had here, and we have the whole map here. I can just hide this unknown because there are some mismatches here that can't be taken care of, so we can just hide it for now. And again, let's say I want to highlight a particular region. So this is something, the filter, country filter, I'll be putting it again. So I'll use all values here in the filters. I'll apply, okay. And again, I'll see it as show filter here. Again, I can see all the values here, but all I need to do is I just need single value drop down here, and I want to select, let's say, India again. So this is for the highlighting part. So we have created this particular map so that we know which region is there. Whenever we select it, where it is located is something we can see. Okay, so Bill has a question. Where was the show me button? Is on the top right, Bill, and it gives you the visualizations suggestions depending upon the values that you have placed in your columns or rows. So let's say I'll just quickly show you one more. So let's say you have country here, and let's say you have confirmed here. Then show me will give you options. For example, you can create a horizontal bar, or you can create a stacked bar, or you can create a tree map. So it depends upon the measures and the dimensions that you have placed in your rows and columns. So depending upon that, it will give you the suggestions for the visualizations. I hope that is clear, Bill. Yeah. So I jump back to this video. Yeah, thanks, Bill. So I'll jump back to this particular visualization, and let's say I want to change the color here of the map to red, so I can again change it. But there is one thing, as you know, that our theme for the all our visualizations will be black. So I'll also create this to black. All you need to do is just right click, then we have map layers option here, and just select the style to dark. That's it. So our second visualization is also created now, and we'll just rename the sheet here by double clicking it as map, and we'll quickly move on to the next visualizations that we have. So our next visualization is something that we are going to create is, okay, I see one question. Okay, I can continue. Yeah, so I see, so the next visualization is something that we are going to create for the top 5 provinces or states in a particular region or a country. So let's say I have a country. Again, you can see a plus option here because Tableau provides you this option of drilling down, which is called as hierarchy. As you can see, this particular symbol on the left, where my arrow is pointing, just next to the country and region. So this is the hierarchy feature. It helps us drilling down the data. So let's say I have a confirmed data here, and I want to see for the countries, then I have it for the countries. But let's say if I want to further drill down the data, what I can do is I can just click on this plus, and it will give me the provinces and states in those particular countries as well. Say, for example, here for Brazil, I have the data for the other provinces as well. So this is something that hierarchies are used for. So in here, in order to just remove this hierarchy, I can just remove this hierarchy. For my visualization, I don't need it right now. So this is something I can drop off for now. Again, if I want to create an hierarchy, just select two of them. And again, I can create one hierarchy here. So I'll put my country now and province in the column shelf, and I'll put the confirmed cases here. So now I have country and provinces that are there in the visualization as per their confirmed cases. But again, I'll filter it out country wise the way we did it earlier. Apply, okay. And again, I'll show this filter. And again, from here, I'll select the single value drop down option. So once this is there, I'll select the India, and you can see all the districts, or sorry, here have come. Okay, so we have all the states here with us in terms of their COVID confirmed cases. But now what I'm going to do is I need from a particular country or from a particular region, I need the top 5 states or provinces that have been affected. So how I'm going to create it now? So this is very important, and I need everyone's attention here because this is something that is a little bit on the higher end. So what I'll do now is I'll place this provinces as one of the filters in the filter shelf, and instead of selecting all values from here, now what I need is the top value. So I remember I told you that we'll be using this top value at the end. So this is something that we'll use now. Okay, so I'll use this by field option here, and again I have this top filter or bottom depending upon how I want to show it. So I want to show the top, and instead of 10 I want to show only 5 of them, 5 of the states that are there. And again I'll apply, okay. But you can see now that the data is not coming here. So this is something that is one caveat in Tableau. So in order to do this thing, in order to rectify this, what we need to do is we need to set these two in the context of each other. So I'll click on the region part here and I'll add to context. I'll just use it. Now you can see I have the top 5 states with the COVID cases. Okay, Tamil has one question. Is it possible to create respective Indian states in separate filter and for other countries in another filter so we can compare India with other countries? Yes, yes, Tamil. It is very well possible to do that. We can do that. Uh, okay, and it is something that is very well possible. And all we need to do is just we can just similarly do it for the other countries as well, and then we can do the comparison. Again, we can do this selecting the other country here in the filter, let's say duplicating this particular sheet. Okay, I hope Tamil that addresses your question. Okay, so Manzoor has one question here for ascending and descending order. So that is something that I was coming to Manzoor. So all we need to do is for creating a sort here, what we can do is we can create a sort from here. We can make it in descending order, or we can make it in ascending order. So we have made it in the descending order here for now. So this is how we do it. So we have this option of sorting from here. We can sort it from here, or else we can sort it from here. We can do it from both ways. It's quite easy as far as sort. I hope your question is clear, Manzoor. So once this is done, what we'll do is we'll swap our axis now. So in order to swap our axis, so what I need is I need my rows to be my columns and my columns to be my rows. So I'll just swap it here, or else what I can do is I can just, if you see, it pops up Control W is something that I can use for swapping. So I can just swap the axis here. So once this is done, what I need is will be entire view section here, and I want to present it like this. Again, I need to change the format. So I'll just right click on the board, and then I'll just change the colors for the sheet again to black. And again, I don't need these lines here. So earlier, so I'll go to the line section. So you can see earlier we removed the lines from the rows. Now we'll remove the lines from the columns. So this is how we'll do it. Again, I need to change the axis colors here. So just right click, format, axis to white, then bold. Similar to this, we'll do it here as well. Format, header, white, bold. We are good. And I don't need this particular India here. So I'll just right click and just remove this show header section. And now we have the visualization what we wanted for the top 5 regions that are there. And we'll quickly just rename it as top 5. And again, from here, let's say we want to change this. So all we need to do is just double click, select it, bold, change the color to white, apply, OK. So I have my top 5 visualization ready with me as well. So we have created till now 3 visualizations. One is the absolute numbers, the other one is the map, and the other one is the top 5 visualization. So we'll quickly move on to our final visualization that we need for this particular dashboard. So I'll just quickly click a new sheet here. And all I need to make now is the absolute numbers. Coming back to the question that I think Khushbu asked. Oh, sorry, Deepika asked. Yeah, Deepika asked. So how to insert text boxes here? So it's something. So text numbers. If let's say the text is coming from the data, then all I can do is I can get the data from here. Or let's say if it is coming, it is something that we need to manually add. Then that is something that just hold down for a while. We'll do it in the dashboard part. So if you remember the sheet 2 that we created earlier, so we can just reuse this sheet. All we need to do is just right click here, and you can see we have an option of duplicating and duplicating as cross tabs here. So duplicating option will give me again the same sheet, but duplicating as cross tab will give me the data from that particular sheet. So I'll just click on this duplicate as cross tab, and now you can see I have the data month wise here. So but month wise is something that I don't need, that is something that I don't want to showcase rather. And once this is done, so again I can fit it to entire view. So these are the absolute numbers for all the countries, but as you remember we are using for country filter here, and we are using it for one country at a time. Then we'll apply OK. Again we'll see the show filter part. Once we get it, again we'll do the single value drop down. So we have number for Afghanistan, but again we need it for India. So we have numbers for India now. So this is my, you can say, confirmed numbers that we have. Okay, so I'll quickly move forward now. So again I want to change this to black. So right click here and format option. Again I'll choose the sheet to black. Some of the times it happens that the numbers, some rows or columns, it happens it's on the tableau end, but we can change it. So all we need to do is we need to go to this row section, and as you see here it is selected as white. We can just make it black. Again, as you see the numbers here, we don't have these numbers, so we can go to this font part here and go to the sheet part, and we for the entire worksheet, so we can just make it as white, bold, and we are good now. Again, we need to change this title here to white. Double click, select, bold, white, and OK. So we have all our visualizations ready with us now. So we have all our four visualizations. And now what we need to do is we need to place it on a dashboard. So as you can see, so this particular sign is for adding a new worksheet, and this is for adding a new dashboard. So I'm going to add a new dashboard now. And again, as you know, our theme is black. So I'll go to this top option here. I'll go to the dashboard. I'll format it here and I'll make it to black. So I have my entire dashboard black now. So now I can just, all I need to do is place my worksheets here, what we have created till now. So I'll create all what we need to do is drag and drop. First, I'll put the absolute numbers worksheet here. So you see, you have this absolute workbook, absolute numbers workbook taking the whole page here. That is something that I don't want. So I'll do one thing. I'll put the confirmed here, confirmed numbers here, and then I can put the map, and then next to it I want to put the top 5 option here. So this is something how I'll put my options here. Now coming back to Khushbu's question, sorry, Deepika's question, how we can insert the text here. So Deepika, we have the option here as text. All we need to do is double click. We'll get a text box open, and let's say I want to give the heading to the dashboard here. So I'll give it as COVID-19 dashboard. Let me make it bit big and bold and white. Again, I want this on top. Let me just put it on top. So I have this COVID-19 dashboard on top. I'll just double click it and add it, select it and make it, let's say, let me change the color to, and let me also change the font to a bit bigger size. Okay, I think this looks good now. So on top we have our heading here with a text box that we have placed just now. Then we have our confirmed numbers. So I'm just resizing it a bit. So as I place the cursor here, I get the option to resize, and I have my confirmed numbers on top. Then I have my map highlighted here, and then I have my top 5 of that particular region that is selected, and then I have my legend here, and I have numbers. So there is something that I want you to have a look now very closely. Okay, any questions still here? I don't see any questions. Okay, so once we are done with this, now you see that we have 4 filter options saying India, 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 India. So these 4 options are coming from 4 different sheets. Okay, but I know this thing that I want this whole dashboard to be connected with filter. I want the whole visualizations here that are there, every visualization to change according to one particular filter. So what I'll do is first I'll remove 3 of them. Just click on them and just remove from dashboard. Again click, remove from dashboard. Again click, remove from dashboard. Again, before placing the filter thing, so let me see, let me just place this legend here. So I have this legend here. So as soon as I click the legend, I get this down arrow here. I just click on this down arrow and I get this option of floating here. So that will make my this particular legend box here to float on the dashboard. So now I can place it anywhere. I can place it anywhere irrespective of the visualization that is there. So now it is not pertain to only this particular visualization. Yeah, and the last thing that we are remained with is the filter here, and I want to put this filter here just below the COVID dashboard numbers. So I think we are good with the dashboard now, but there is one important thing that is still missing here, and that is we need to make sure that we have to connect all these visualizations to one particular filter here. So for that, what we need to do is just click on the filter. Again, you can see this down arrow, just select it, and you have this apply to worksheet option. So again, what it is depicting right now is that once I select the filter here, the whole visualizations in a particular dashboard should actually change to the selected filter. So once I select the filter now, I make it as selected worksheets, and I'll check all the worksheets that I want to change with this particular filter. Now, as soon as I click on OK, these all visualization have changed to India. Again, so we are having some problem here for top 5. We can just click here, go back to the sheet, and again, what we did earlier for the context part, we can just set it into our context, and again we have our 5 visualizations back. So let's say we have this for India now. Let's check it whether the filter will apply to all of them or not. Now you can see as I selected US, these numbers have changed. The top 5 states have changed. Again, the visualization is showing this, and the absolute numbers monthly have also changed. Let's check it for one more. Let's say Canada. Again, so you can see now the map is highlighted here. The numbers have changed. Top 5, and then I have the absolute number month wise. So this is our COVID dashboard that we had to create today. I hope you are able to follow this. So one last thing that I want to add here is, let's say we want to download this particular dashboard. Okay, so let's say we want to download this particular dashboard and we want to give particular functionality to this particular dashboard of downloading selected dashboard. So how can we do it? So we have here in our dashboard section download option. All we need to do is double click here. So we get this option here. So down arrow, again I'll make it as floating so that I can put it anywhere. Let's say I want to put it on the top, and I'll just click on the down arrow here. Again, I can just edit this button. Yeah, how we can download is either we can download it as PDF, image, crosstab, or PowerPoint. Again, I'm giving a PDF option here, and again it depends upon us whether we want to give a text button, like in this case download PDF, or we can give an image button. So if let's say I select an image, I'll choose from here, and then I'll select the PDF. Once this is done, I'll click on OK. So now you can see I have this option of PDF. So all I need to do is just place my cursor here and Alt plus click to download option, and I'll get my active sheet for the downloads. So let's say I choose it to unspecified, then I can say OK. And let's say I want to save it. I can save it in the PDF format. So Tableau will now create a PDF for this particular view, and here I have my dashboard. So it will be, I'll be getting the dashboard only for the country that I have selected. So it won't be like that I'll be getting for all. So it will be only for the country that I have selected. Okay, so I see Tamil and Ratna have some questions. From Tamil, there's a question how to fix the sorting to descending on bar chart. So Tamil, all we can do is, okay, sorry, this is my PDF. Yeah. So I have an option here. I need to go to this particular view, and I can select my sort, and I can sort it to, again going back to that particular worksheet, and then selecting the sort option here. I can just sort my dashboard. Now you can see it's sorted. So that is one question from Tamil, and I think we have one more question. Okay, Raj Ratna, you have one question. If data is not proper format, how will you arrange in proper format?
Hi, this is Raj Ratna.
Yeah, yeah, Raj Ratna.
Yeah, actually, this is the actually I want to ask in the beginning, but the data you have connected, that is in a CVS file, Excel file, right?
Right.
Right. And if this is the in a particular format, or if it is it is arranged in particular format, or you are taking that data in particular format, means whatever the data we are connected to generate this visualization, so we required a basic data in proper format.
Yeah, so in order to ask that question, yeah, we can, okay. So as you can see the data file that I have opened up now.
Yeah, I can
So
see.
usually we need this data in this particular format. So this is the
Mm-hmm.
pivoted data we call it.
Okay.
So again, it depends upon, let's say if there would be a province, so it won't be
Mm-hmm.
a cross-sectional data. It would be more of a time series, you can say here. It is a more of a
Yeah.
time series data. And
Yeah.
again, so there will be repetitions in rows. So let's say for
Yeah.
India, there will be repetitions for India here for a
Yeah.
particular date, and it will be mapped accordingly for one
Okay.
particular thing. And Tableau is aggregating all these numbers when we are
Okay.
placing it on the dashboard.
Means in the
And
basic requirement is that means the our data it should be sorted properly. If I
right.
wrong, right? No.
Right. So in order to get data in a consumable fashion, so we need to
Mm-hmm.
do certain manipulations in the
Mm-hmm.
starting so that
Yeah.
we can I mean work with
Means
that particular.
before starting, we need to segregate data in a particular format, or what we want to do the visualizations.
Yeah.
The, yeah. So if there is a means a huge data, then how we can sort it that data? Is there any means any technique?
So do you want to sort data or do you want to I mean prepare data? So there are two different things. See, in
Means
order to sort
hmm,
the data, we can do the sorting from here the way we want to see
okay.
it. When you say sorting,
Okay.
so let's say I sort it on the date wise here,
Okay.
lower to higher or higher to lower. So it
Okay.
depends
Okay.
upon that. Or let's say I want to do it recovered wise, so I can do it from here. But
Okay.
when it
But
comes to data preparation, yes, in order to get the make the visualization, you need to have it in a particular fashion, and that is
yes.
the pivoted data here. So we
Yeah. Is
have the option
pivoted
if the
data.
data. So again, there are data preparation tools for that as well.
Mm-hmm.
So we can use them for the manipulation part, and then we can get it in this particular fashion, and we can build our
Mm-hmm.
visualizations.
Because if there is an error in a data, our whole work is go on task. If
Right.
I right now, if there is an error, if I say that I want the numbers, and there may be the text, so it will be the go on task the whole visualization.
Right. So that will be taken care of outside Tableau, as well
Okay.
as if you
Okay.
want to do it inside, then there is a preparation tool for that.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. So this is our dashboard. So I want you to try this dashboard. I've tried covering multiple functionalities in this particular dashboard, and I have tried to accommodate maximum number of functionalities such as using a filter or renaming accesses or building charts, different types of charts. And so what I want you to do is just go back and have this data. If you want, you can download the COVID-19 data as well, and then try building up the dashboard on your own. There is a public version that is available that is free for all. This can be easily done in that. That's why I've taken a CSV file. Okay, I see Partha is raising his hand.
Yes, good evening, Abhishek. My question is, what happens in case there is lapse in the data stream? Like, suppose I had an experience, I was collecting data on secondary enrollment numbers. So, on in a time series frame, sometimes at times we receive data where there is an absence of data. So there is no data for those particular years, and on a series of say 50 to 60 data streams, there might be absence for 5 to 6 or 6 to 7 data points. So what happens in that case in Tableau? Like what happens to the visualization in that part? How it acts out, and
Okay.
how what can we do to help it
Okay,
out?
so there are three ways we can by which we can handle that. So let's say if there are null values, we can use a zn function there, and we'll get all those null values as zero there. Or else what we can do is we can do it inside Tableau by creating a calculation for the same column itself, and thereby making it as a imputed value that can be come across there. So let's say you have um, for 4,000 of records you have the data, but for 50 of them you are missing, then you can just simply impute the value in one more column and then replace that column with the previous column. This is the second way to handle it. And the third way to handle it is you can either use a data preparation tool for that, or else you can do it in the coding, let's say some language, Python or R, you can do that.
So basically, we have to have an idea about how we are going to handle those lapses.
Right.
Before applying it to Tableau, we must have a like data splicing or interpreting any kind of functions, premeditative functions. We must have to take care of it, and then we can accordingly calculate it in Tableau or outside also.
Yeah, both ways it is possible.
Thank you.
So at last, I would like to end here on the note saying that if there is anyone who wants to build a career in analytics, then I strongly feel that there is no better time that the world has ever witnessed, since the data is growing like anything, and most of the things are going online, and there are a lack of people who actually understand data. So data understanding is something key skill, some a key skill for today. That is something that recruiters have been looking for. So you also even don't realize this thing, that you are actually placed in a supply demand mismatch where supply is very limited and there is a hell lot of demand for such skills. So if you want to do it, I think now is the right time to do it. So this is a quote that I want to say, that if you can't win by being better, then you can actually win by being different. And Tableau is something that would add that difference to your career. So thanks from my side. Thanks for joining the webinar. I hope you had a learning experience. Thanks a lot. Thanks everyone for joining.